Year 5, it's day 3 of our application of fractions. These are your answers to yesterday's. I have done a little bit of working out at the bottom for you for these ones if you needed to see it. So that's the answers. And now here is coming day 3's fluency question. So pause your video, give yourself 5 minutes and see how you get on. Okay, here are the answers. Okay, right, so today we're going to look at fraction and shape. So when you first learn about fractions in Key Stage 1, you learn about fractions of shape and you start shading in fractions and so on. So the concept is quite basic. However, when the denominator does not match the number of equal parts, that's when it gets a bit tricky. So I thought the best way to do this today is to think about going through some questions with you. So I'm going to do the questions here. And all the time, what you need to think about is you want the denominator to be the number of equal parts. And sometimes you might have to adapt things to make them fit. So this one then, number 1. Each of these diagrams is divided into equal parts. Write the letters of all the diagrams that have exactly half shaded. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down how many equal parts there are and how many are shaded. So I'm going to just not even think about that yet. I'm just going to write down what fraction is shaded. So again, you're all used to doing that. So how many equal parts? There are 8 equal parts. So that's the denominator. And 3 of them are shaded. Part B, there are 9 equal parts and 3 of them are shaded. Shape C, there are 6 equal parts with 3 of them shaded. D is 5 equal parts with 3 shaded. And E is 4 equal parts with 2 shaded. So now I've got the basic fractions. All I need to do is use my knowledge of equivalent fractions to answer the questions. So which of these fractions are equivalent to 1/2? So I know that any fractions that are equivalent to 1/2, the numerator is half of the denominator. So I can see that that one would be equal to 1/2 and that one would be equal to 1/2. So C and E. Which of the diagrams has exactly 1/3 shaded? Well, I can't simplify this fraction. 3 and 8 have no shared factors apart from 1. B, I can simplify. Divide them both by 3. There we go. That's the one that's got 1/3. But just to double check, 3 and 5, no, both prime numbers, can't simplify that. So the answer to that one is B. I will do a zoomed in version of that so you can see. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. Tick each shape that is exactly 1/4 shaded. So again, if these shapes were split into 4, you'd easily be able to see that one part will be shaded, but they're not. They are, however, all the same. So let's have a look. Each have a denominator of 12, or equal parts. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did last time. Jot next to them what is shaded. So 3/12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6/12, 4/12 and 3/12. Now, which of those is equivalent to 1/4? Well, that's 1/2. That's 1/3. It's these two are equivalent to 1/4. We could also have said, well, what's 1/4 of 12? It's 3. So it's that one and that one. Okay, this one's a little bit harder. So in this circle, each shaded part is 1/5 of the area of the circle. The 2 white parts have equal areas. What fraction of the circle is one of the white areas? Okay, so we're going to start off by thinking, well, how much are the white parts together? So 2/5 of that circle is shaded altogether, which means, because 5/5 would be a whole one, that 3/5 are not shaded. So we know that these 2 parts, I'm just going to call them A and B, add up to 3/5. But we need to work out half of 3/5. So if you remember, half of 3/5 is the same as saying half times 3/5. When we multiply fractions, we multiply the top and we multiply the bottom. And there's our answer. So 3/10 is the answer to that problem. Okay, and then last one. Shade 1/4 of this shape. Again, if it was split into 4, I think you'd find it very straightforward, but it's actually split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah, there we go. So we need to find out which fraction with a denominator of 12 is equivalent to 1/4. We met it earlier on, didn't we? It's 3/12, so we have to shade 3. Does it matter which 3? No. Okay. These diagrams are all made of squares. Look at each diagram and put a tick if exactly 1/3 of it is shaded, a cross if it is not. Same thing. So we're going to work out the fraction of each one that's shaded first. So this shape, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, is 12 equal pieces. 4 of them are shaded. This shape is 5 equal pieces. 2 of them are shaded. This shape is 7 equal pieces. 3 of them are shaded. This is interesting because you've got 4 half squares here. Well, 4 halves make 2 wholes. So it's still 6 equal squares. 2 of them are shaded. Or what you could have done, split that up as well and said actually now it's 12 equal parts and 4 of them are shaded. Okay, so which ones are equivalent to 1/3? Well, let's simplify them all. First of all, that one is. That one can't be simplified. That one can't be simplified. And that one can be simplified to 1/3. So we do a tick and a tick and a cross and a cross. So it's all about applying your knowledge of the denominator and what the denominator means and using your knowledge of equivalent fractions. Now, because these are quite visual questions, there are 3 pages. I will lay them all out one at a time, but then I will also do, if necessary, a zoomed in still version as well. It's page 2. Just if you're doing it straight from the video, you can pause. And there's the last bit there. And I'll come back tomorrow with the answers for you.